Hello and welcome to the morning meeting. It's August 2nd, Wednesday morning. It's Spirit Week at the Jomboy Media headquarters because we are recording our Floorball tournament. So I am wearing my Floorball jersey from the last tournament. It's Jersey Day. Matty doesn't have a hockey jersey, so he's not wearing one. My name's Jimmy. His name's Matt. Intro complete. Table of contents for today's episode, and we promise you that we will not stick to these, but it is the guideline. Floorball preview, a little photo shoot that's been going on. We did trade deadline in the office yesterday. JJTV's watch-ins will return soon. We can talk about that. We have a bunch of questions from the last YouTube video about the Gagas, about some floorball stuff, about some old podcasts, new collaborations, YouTube stuff, weekly dumb awards, Boone convos. So it's a good crop of questions. If you want to ask questions for the next episode, leave them on the YouTube video. If you want us to plan them into the show, or you can join live on Instagram, my personal Instagram. We have 125 people live right now. That'll dwindle down, 118. They're like, he's just talking.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. 119, back up. So that's the table of contents. Hi to everyone that's watching on Instagram. And hi to Matty.
Morning.
How are you?
Good. Good. Start to the day. Pressed 2 shirts. Can't complain.
Ironed? Oh, I see. You pressed. You made shirts. Yeah. I like when people say, just like for ironing, like my grandma would say that. She would say, like, you know,
press them.
I'm going to press that for you. Because it is just pressing down with a heavy object. Hot, heavy object. Tom A says best day of the week. I don't know.
How hot do you think a normal iron gets? Like a handheld?
200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because the shirt press gets to like 330 to make those shirts. 10 seconds, 330 degrees.
Iron temperature for cotton.
Obviously.
It's the hottest. 400.
Oh.
I was ironing silk with my 200.
So the little iron's hotter than the thing.
Iron temperature for silk, 300. Had it wrong. Anyway, today we're doing this, and then we are doing our Boone interview today at 10:30. I just found out it got pushed from 10 to 10:30. I don't even know what to do, what to say. I'm so over it. The Yankees, just a terrible trade deadline.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say if I were you. It's like shocking that they did nothing.
It's crazy. I was texting Ruko and Jake, and I asked Ruko, like, can I phrase this question in this way? Because when you ask Boone questions, it's like, one, you don't want to phrase it in a way that he's just going to give you a non-answer and not be like an honest conversation. And you don't want to be insulting or whatever. But I said, where is it? I texted him and Jake, and I said, do you think I can phrase a question this way to Boone? I know this question is rough around the edges, but do you think the Yankees are aware of how drastically the perception of the franchise has changed in the last couple of years? And Ruko said, yes, that I can ask that.
Yeah, I mean, what would his non-answer be? No, it hasn't changed? But that's still a good answer for us.
I don't know what his answer is, because 99% of the time I think of a question, I can tell you what he's going to say in return. And I don't know how he'd handle that one. Maybe like he'd say, like, I hope he just pins it on the fans. And then I can be like, well, the whole brand of the fucking team is that we have the most demanding fans in sports. So it was like a selling point. It was like, you guys built your reputation off like the fans being demanding.
Yeah.
So he will dance around it, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, seeing this trade deadline.
It's good. Someone in the chat said he'd say perception doesn't bother us. But that's where I'm going to say, but that's wrong. Because George built the whole thing by placating to the fans and the perception of the team, which was more important than anything. It was winning and perception. And if you weren't winning, the perception had to be that you were doing everything to win and that the fans were right. That was like, that's what the Yankees brand is.
Yeah.
So if he says that, maybe I can counter there.
I ironically just finished
the also not him.
Steinbrenner book.
Oh, yeah?
Last Lion. Have you read that?
I haven't.
It's good. It was slow at the beginning, but it is good. But it's just funny to see this conversation we're having now. He had 17 managers in 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the opposite. They say they like a manager for 10 years. That's what Cashman said at one point.
Well, but in that book, the whole thing is Cashman told Steinbrenner, like, you have to let me run this the way I want to run it, or I'm going to quit. He told him that in, like, 2008.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I don't think they realize they're like a laughing stock.
Probably not.
Like the Herman and Brito thing is just an absolute joke. But I have no idea what's... Like, Boone doesn't have any role in the majority of frustrations.
No.
If they were playing well and I disagreed with his bullpen decisions or lineups, then the conversations can steer. But the problems are so much deeper than that. Sherman or Narco, I kind of like really rip the Yankees.
He ripped it?
Joel Sherman, he like tore him apart. He was like, they're so arrogant. So that's the Boone conversation today. Not incredibly excited for it. And I don't have, that's the only question I've prepped. Other than that, I'm just going to try and chat.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. What's the plan? No plan. Something you are excited for?
Floorball?
Yeah.
I am excited for floorball. It's almost like I need to get through today.
Yeah.
I wish, we can't ever do this, but I wish I could have a normal week up until this. But with the Apple shoot that I mentioned last week that I don't know if I'm supposed to mention, and trade deadline, like it's been, and Katie and the kids are sick. So it's like there's been a lot occupying my brain. And I wanted to spend these days, my downtime in between, planning plays with Sam and Kraus.
Yeah.
Talking with Jake. Getting really into it. Which I was doing that. And then these last 2 days I've been completely distracted by doing work. So that's a bummer. But anyway, floorball is this weekend. Tomorrow we are... Now, this is always a bummer for the audience because the games won't come out until October. There will be stuff on the Warehouse Games channel, but it won't come out until October. And that leads me into another conversation about schedule transparency that I'll pause for now. But just on filming it, I think it's fun. I think Ball and Play had really even teams. I think Floorball is going to have really even teams. And it's like such a different gameplay than the other games. To go back to that is really fun. Like just like nonstop speed. We have a new color commentator, Pavel Barber, with Rose, who's Canadian, so it's always Rose and a foreigner, Australian, St. Lucian, Canadian with an accent. We have a fun like twist where Pavel, the Pavel play, which is exciting.
Does he have an accent?
Probably got a Canadian accent. We've talked to him and I've watched his content. I think, but those aren't as strong.
Yeah. What's a Canadian accent like? Eh?
Yeah, there's just different vowels where they kind of go like half British with some vowels or like wider. I don't know. There's a Canadian accent. Norm Macdonald had a Canadian accent. But he also rambled and mumbled. I don't think Pavel does that.
If he does, then that's the Canadian accent.
Yeah. I'm excited. Are you excited? You have a very big role in floorball. I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
But now you've gotten practice in.
Yeah, I'm excited. I had texted you. My only fear is I felt like after the first training session, I was feeling good. After the second one, I feel like there was 3 or 4 times that there was like a prolonged jostling for possession in the blind spot that I have, just right against the boards in front of me that I can't see.
Yeah.
And then it felt like those 3 or 4 times the ball would then just like, boom, like fire to one side or the other. And now me looking at the camera, I just have no perception of that.
I think you're going to be okay there because the new camera that they installed, it's a direct 180 from yours.
Yeah.
Which means that if there's a prolonged jostling there in post, they'll take the direct 180 and then they can't go from that camera back to your camera because you break the 180 rule.
Yeah.
If people don't know the 180 rule, I guess you can Google it. Cameras have to be on the same side of a 180 line. So cut the rink in half. You can't go back and forth. You have to go around the clock. So they'd go from that, if they really need it to get the jostling there. And then they would go to one of the ones on either garage door behind the net cam or somewhere else to get around the clock back to yours, which gives you a couple seconds. So in your head, you can just be like, 3 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I need to find it by then.
Yep. No, that's good. I think the only reason this is sticking in my head is because Zoe did me dirty and implanted bad juju. Because there was one time it was Zoe and Sam jostling. Ball's not coming out. All of a sudden, Zoe went the one way.
Yeah.
And he's the first person that moved, so I started following him, and he was just going the other way. I don't know if there's
he just
to
ditched.
Get back on play defense.
That is funny.
Did me dirty. So then it was like, I'm following Zoe because he's the first one to leave.
Yeah.
But he didn't have possession of the ball.
That is a little dance. You might have to watch with your eyes and then move your watch with your eyes, move the camera, then when you're positive, find it.
Yeah.
I love those little things. Do you ever have to see the Instagram Praise the Cameraman? It's a really cool account where they just film the camera guys at sporting events.
Yeah, they're so good.
From behind the scenes of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible what those guys do.
Yeah.
But we also have the high one above your head, camera 8, and they might go to that as well.
Yeah, I know that there's safety shots, but obviously I want the ball to be in the frame the whole time.
The coverage is insane we have now for floorball. The cameras are way better. Mike's doing a great job, and we've had 2 full tests to do it. If you go back and this week we did Spirit Week to just get people in the mode, so we had the whole floorball tournament running on the TV in the office. It's so, I don't want to say bad because it was Dan put in crazy hard work to build the system, and we didn't have budget for cameras, so it was just whatever cameras we had lying around, and we didn't have time for test shoots because I think we filmed that right after All-Star Week or right before.
Yeah, was it? I think it was right after, because then right after that was mini golf.
And we didn't have much test and we just put cameras up and that's a safety. We didn't have, guidelines. That edit it's tough to watch for me. Mm-hmm. I was very proud of it at the time. That's how it always happens. I was very proud of BB2 at the time, and now I can't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we have found a plateau where we're at for Ball and Play, Blitzball Battle 3.
Not Ball and Play.
Yeah, Ball and Play.
I think that's a situation where next year's Ball and Play, we're not going to be able to watch this year's.
But I just mean all the cameras are the same. The camera angles and the floor looked good.
That's fair. I do think, though, for Ball and Play, we're going to find new things that it's how did
there's more tinkering.
Yeah.
Blitzball 3 was great. But I wonder in 4 years or 2 years, do I look back and it looks foreign?
Yeah.
Again.
Right.
I don't know. But don't worry too much because your mess ups can be covered up in post.
Yeah.
You just can't mess up for a long time.
Yeah. No, I won't.
Yeah, it's 3 seconds is and then you got to get back on.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. But it's nice that you don't have to zoom at all, your camera.
Yeah, thank God.
Matty's the main camera. Camera 1. That's your saying comms.
I know.
Camera 1. Good job.
The only other thing I'll prolong about my experience on that camera, we started the last game, and I went to put the headset down because it mutes itself when it's up, and So when I put it down, I must have hit the buttons for A and B channel are right there, so I must have hit the other one. The first 2 minutes of the game, dead silent.
Oh.
I was like, what is going on? Why is nobody working or talking?
And you could go one ear and you could hear Rose because you're right next to him. So that's cool.
No, that's good. That's really good.
What else about floorball? So we have a lot of guests coming to the warehouse for the first time, a lot of people that haven't, and a lot of returnees in a very bizarre spider web of players. Again, this doesn't come out till October, so you'll find out more about that. I don't want to over spoil it. And it was supposed to come out in September, but then we made a blitzball tournament that's happening in September, which then pushed this to October. So that's why.
One question that we got last week is if Rotten will be in it.
This will be the first franchise tournament that Forgotten Rotten will not be participating in. I didn't really realize that until we started doing the point system. and I was bummed out. And Trev's bummed out. He wanted to play floorball more than ball and play, but he has a wedding this weekend, so he couldn't. I don't know what his team would have been, because last year it was basically Dalton and Nikki, and they are Lovias. But yeah, this will be the first one that Ron's not in. I want to show. I talked about, because my dad listened in the morning last week, and he told me he liked the Warehouse Cup idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we did talk about it a little bit, but it's kind of a fog. I forget.
I think that we did a decent dive into it.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't Rotten have been mostly what Wooga's is, but put Trevin instead of Luke?
Or Luke probably would have been there.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. I'm going to Slack you a photo, or maybe we can Slack it to Rob too for he can put it on screen. This doesn't really matter because we didn't set ourselves up for this in the past 2 years, but it's like how we're going to do the point system for starting 2024. But this floorball tournament would be the last of it. And then the teams that are going to be in the tournament, but Rotten won't be. But then you have Baggage, We Got Ice, Hook Line, Lovia's, Pinstripe, McFlurry, Wooga's. McFlurry wasn't in the last one.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see that out of the 5 franchise series we've done, Blitzball Battle 1, Blitzball Battle 2, Blitzball Battle 3, Floorball 1, Ball and Play 1, Rotten, Baggage, and We Got Ice are the 3 teams that have been in all 5.
Yeah.
Hook Line's been in just the last 2. Lovia's has been in the last 4.
Yep.
They just missed Blitzwater 1. Pinstripe Strong has been in 3. And Pinstripe Strong won't be in floorball. So we're doing a whole point system. I think it's going to be fun. The Zoe, Nikki, everyone seems to be bought into it more. So talking to Jake about it yesterday. And if you don't come in the semifinals, if you don't get to the semifinals, you get 0 points. And if your team gets skunked on the year, so there's 4 franchise series next year. If you don't make the semifinals in all 4, the next year, all of your jerseys will have a skunk patch on them.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good, right?
Well, what about will the winner have something?
Yeah, I think they'll have they get the Warehouse Cup, which I want to make out of the blue siding of the warehouse.
Oh my God.
That's cool, right? Take some extra of that blue siding and fasten it into a trophy bowl cup thing.
Wait, so they'll have a patch like that has the picture of the cup or something?
Yeah, we'll make a logo out of it or something. We want to brand. We would just need to do more of our own branding.
I think that we should implement the soccer where you have stars over the patch for the number of World Cups you've won.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So that, 2 years from now, if Baggage won next year, you would have the patch for that year, but then the year following, if you didn't win, you'd still have the star up top. That's like, oh, we've done that before.
Now I'm double checking everything. Hook Line was not in the first 3, then they came in 4th, and then first. Lovia's was not in Blitzball Battle 1, was not in Floorball, lost in the championship in Blitzball Battle 2.
Didn't Hook Line come in 3rd in Blitzball 3?
Well, 3rd and 4th both get 5 points. Because you can't separate them. The 2 semifinal losers.
It's
both
not like whoever wins, that person that lost, technically 3rd,
But most of them, it's like 2 separate semifinals. So you would need like a consolation game to divide 3rd and 4th. So we're just giving both 3rd.
If you finish in the semis, 5.
You get 5 points. Basically, like if you make the semifinals, you get points. I think that's a fun system to have.
Mm-hmm.
Pinstripe Strong. Yeah, I think this is right now what I'm looking at. I'll send you a new one.
For my own sake, can you explain the Rotten 5 points in BB3? They
came in
4th. Even though they didn't make a semifinal.
It was a weird system.
Yeah.
But there was 4 teams standing at one point, and they were 4th.
Okay.
But we want to kind of organize all our tournaments with having 8 teams in all of them next year.
Mm.
So part of the schedule transparency, and this goes with, it's more of it's conversation for Warehouse because I already have this in progress. But also with Jomboy JTV, I want to have it do a better job with this. People are like, oh, Gio's back. And like in my head, I'm like, it never left. We just haven't been able to record it. And we're also just like not doing every single week. We're spreading it out a little bit. So for floorball or for warehouse games like next January, the first thing that comes out on the channel in January is my plan is for it to be a opening ceremonies for the year. I don't know if it's going to be live or we go to the warehouse and film it, but I want all the players there, and I want to have it be like a silly but fun opening ceremony. But like we say, hey, these are the 4 franchise series that we're playing in the warehouse this year. These are the 8 teams that will be competing in the 4 franchise series. This is the month that the franchise series that Blitzball Battle 3 is going to get released. This is the month that this, so like full, and then we have 5 micro series where we're going to like divide people up. We might have some challenger series coming up, and we have training sessions, like the full layout, because I have it, and give our audience like a schedule release video, but also have like, all right, these are the 8 teams, announce them, and they're there. And not everyone's going to be able to they're not going to fly Trev out for just that.
Yeah.
We can do a lot. We might be revealing a rebrand for a team.
Oh, yeah.
And like tons of fun. And I think that schedule transparency is going to be great for the whole channel. And this is where when we finally get a website, it'd be awesome to have that. And like then people just know what's coming up, when they can be involved. They know that like there's going to be awards at the end of the year for all of the videos combined, and then blah, 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 blah. But even Jomboy JTV and all of our channels, if we can, we should let the audience know about that. Nicky Cass does a good job of that on Instagram, just of like, his shorts. He's like, hey, this is dropping then.
Yep.
So that's what because we had a schedule for the breakdowns in April, May, and June, or second half of April, May, and June, that if you watch this show, you knew that was happening because I talk about it, but like the regular channel didn't know. So I kind of just pinned a comment on the last video, and I tweeted out like, hey, every day at 11, I will miss some, but the plan, every day at 11, a breakdown comes out. Tuesday night's Weekly Dumb, Sunday night's Thing You Missed. If I have extra, I'm going to go extra at night. Jomboy Jake TV, like we kind of have a schedule. I'm not sure. But as soon as we have like the next 2 months planned out, we should release, hey, here's the next 2 months. GeoGuessr, watching. Vlog, Sport Goal, playing, whatever.
Yeah.
And if anyone is interested in the behind the scenes of the floorball prep, the vlog has shown some of those sessions.
Yeah. Last week's vlog did a good amount of it.
Jomboy Jake TV, we filmed a bunch of watch-ins of a show whose slogan is, do you have it? We're going to try and do watch-ins again. Obviously, when Baggage got claimed by Game Show Network and they threatened to nuke the whole channel because they didn't know nor care how YouTube strikes worked, and they were just like ruthless, and then we were like, hey, this is really like damaging, and then they're like, whatever, and then eventually they fixed it. But we kind of got scared from doing that because I still want to do the watch-ins how I like doing it, like watching the full thing, building narratives and storylines. So we did do that, and we tried to edit it in a different way where we can like play within the guidelines and rules of fair use and reaction videos. So we filmed 3 guts, 4 guts, 4 guts, and then we have. There's tons of shows. I sent Matty like a list of like, hey, if we can get back into the rhythm of this, the amount of like old game shows, that if like we can play and it's fine is going to be insane. So those will be back. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, you
Joe's
said something like we have at least 500 episodes
of Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple, and like Double Dare, just 3 Nickelodeon shows. There's 500 episodes.
10 years of content.
10 years of content. But we can also do old sitcoms, old whatever. So those are going to go back in the mix. GeoGuessr is going to be in the mix. Sporkle videos or ranking videos are going to go back in the mix. Because GeoGuessr is really fun, but I think you just need them to be more sporadic for them to do better.
I think you need more sporadic and more goal-oriented for us.
Yeah.
I think that...
You can't just sit down and just like play for a day.
No.
It was fun when we were doing like, can we beat it in 30 minutes? But then we got good.
Yeah, we need to figure out something like that.
We're like kind of like in the one skill lane that we can't get out of right now. We get to gold and then we lose immediately.
We'll be on 660 level silver forever. Unless we actually sat down and came up with new strategies.
Yeah, it's true.
I think the next step would be buying into some of those hacks and like playing the game to play the game.
What?
I don't want to do it. I'd rather sit at 660, but I do think that might be what we'd have to do.
The real silver in the YouTube in the Instagram chat said what happened to the Binho tourneys. Those were like we sold that package to Binho. We have one more that is coming up soon. Those were fun. I just like the league aspect of it probably can't happen because it was
too much.
It was too much. It was a nightmare. Like we don't have that much downtime in the office for people to be playing that much Binho. And then we always did the tournaments, the live streams at night. So like if we were to bring those back, I think, but then you can't really do a live stream during the day. I don't know.
We're doing a live stream. Like the plan for this upcoming one is a live stream amongst all of the creators. In like late afternoon, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. What day is it? Do you know?
August 23rd, I think. Wednesday.
These are Jake's sunglasses.
Yeah.
Where's my pair? I gotta wear my custom pair more and shout them out. I think it's in the other room. But yeah, so Binho's coming back for one more tournament. Those are like really fun, like some crazy moments, and they got good views on the Jomboy JJTV channel and stuff. But it is a decent amount of work. The league's a lot of work. We can't do that. The streams were fun, but they're just a little time consuming.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Yeah. Or I could also break right now and do the content report.
Oh yeah, of course. The interlude.
The interlude content report. I have the quarterly Q2 content report.
Shiza. Wow.
You excited? We've done weekly. Sometimes I show the weekly. Sometimes I show the monthly. The weekly's a little. The monthly I like. Well, yeah. Weekly is. It's just
no, I don't like the weekly. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like the interlude when it's the weekly one. Doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. Well, what about quarterly?
No, that's insane. When we do this December 31st, or I guess it would be January 31st, and we get the yearly, that.
Yeah, it would be January
31st. Yeah, that would be insane.
All right, Jomboy Media quarterly report, Q2 only, 30-day views for YouTube, Facebook, and podcasts. Top 5 highest viewed episodes.
Oh, this is podcasts?
Podcasts, audio plus video. So it has
Talkin
to have.
Baseball.
Talkin Baseball did not get the number 1 slot. Morning. This show got the number 1 slot.
I knew that. That was a bad guess. You told me that.
I did tell you that.
Bad guess.
One of the only podcast shows to beat Talkin Baseball. Only slightly by 3,000. The 2, 3, 4, and 5 are Talkin Baseball. Those are the top 5 for Q2. Top 5 highest viewed shows by average views.
Okay, Talkin Baseball.
That's number 1.
Talkin Yanks.
That's number 2.
This is podcast, right?
Yeah.
Talkin Giants.
No.
Is it not in the top 5?
No.
Oh,
it's off season. Q2's their off season.
Rose rotation.
Number 5.
Baseball Today.
Number 3.
Morning.
Number 4.
Nice.
Those are the top 5 most highest viewed shows by average. Diversa has growth versus last quarter.
Okay.
I'm just do shows in the positive. Or the oh wow, that's cool. All right, guess the shows that have positive growth from Q1 to Q2.
Talkin Baseball.
Yes, third most positive growth. Looks like around 17.5% growth from Q1 to Q2.
Right.
The
I knew that.
The TPPs really help Q1 for Talkin Baseball.
Okay. Wake and Jake.
Wake and Jake is 5th in positive growth. It looks like around 5% growth.
Watch that for Q3, Wake and Jake, because they got 3 eps with Foolish Bailey already in the bank.
Ooh.
Morning
is off the chart because it had 314% growth from Q1 to Q2. 314. So that's the most. It's number one. But
Right.
it ruined the imagery of the chart. So it's not even pictured. But it's number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Talkin Yanks.
Talkin Yanks is number 2 behind Morning with 50% growth Q1 to Q2.
Have I gotten 1 through 4? What was Jake? Wake and Jake 5?
Wake and Jake was 5. Talking Baseball was 3. Talking Hold on.
2,
Hold
1.
on.
Okay.
Talking Yanks was 2. Talking Baseball was 4. Wake and Jake was 6. There's 6.
Oh my God.
6 podcasts had positive growth. There's one that's really fun.
Girls and Co.
No.
Because they weren't on the podcast app.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's one that's really fun that I am excited to shout out because I think some people might not even like fully. No.
Inside Boxing Live.
Inside Boxing Live, as I put my Dukes up for Matty.
Yeah. Right.
They had 20-something% growth. They just went to Vegas, did a big trip. They've had some episodes like really, like their most recent episode.
Oh, yeah.
Or 2 episodes now ago was like crazy big. Canobio.
See, I thought this would be a Q3 from Q2 kind of thing,
Well,
which it will be.
It will be, but no, they've been doing really good stuff. And then Rose Rotation, you didn't guess them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is a bad game for me. If I don't get them right, it's a lose-lose, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. So video only content.
Yeah.
From Q2.
We got ice, anything but.
It does not count breakdowns.
Right.
Top 5 highest viewed YouTube videos. You get Facebook views count as well from Q2.
Okay, I'm still gonna go with We Got Ice, anything but, or no, not anything but. We Got Ice, Glove, Decades with Nikki Cass.
That is the second.
Ah,
That is the second most watched video from quarter 2. We Got Ice has the second most watched, the third most watched, and the fourth most watched video from Q2.
anything but Bat, Home Run Derby. Is that one of them?
The bunting episode that I was in is number 3.
Okay, you're giving me that because that's not what I said. But
yeah. Well, We Got Ice got 3.
all right, so I don't know what the other We Got Ice one is by name.
It's Wiffle Ball versus MLB Strike Zone Challenge.
Okay.
You'll never guess number 1, just to let you know. I mean, you might
Is
be
it
able to guess.
Facebook? Crazy Facebook?
Yeah,
views?
you might be able to guess the series, but you're not going to be able to guess the
Things you missed?
No. The number 1 and number 4 are from the same series.
Weekly Dumb?
No.
Jolly?
No.
I mean, this is a little silly Facebook game.
No, it's not crazy.
Okay. Is it on Jay and Baseball?
No.
Is it on JJTV?
No.
Oh, shit. Is it football related?
No.
God almighty.
You're blanking.
Yeah, I am. Am I missing something obvious?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe not. That depends your read on it afterwards.
Okay, it's not on Maine, Jay and Baseball, JJTV, We Got Ice, any of the football channels, Jolly. Is it like a basement yard JM Entertainment?
No.
Come on. Is it on JM Entertainment?
No.
I didn't think so, but I don't know. What is it?
Warehouse Games.
Yeah, see, that is a fair thing that I missed.
Blitzball Battle 3 has the 2 games. The number 1 spot and the number 4 spot on most viewed episodes.
That was stupid.
From Q2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let you go for a while there, just kind of.
I don't know why.
You just blanked on it.
It's not just a video to me. It's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now you're buying into my whole thing.
I've been bought.
Yeah. We're not building a video. We're building a fucking league.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 of those. Warehouse franchises up 481%. Off the chart. Watching Playing up. Office Vlog up. JM Baseball Trivia up about 40%. Stats That Exist up about 45%, but that's gone now. Weekly Dumb up about 60%. We Got Ice up 160%. Pretty good.
Nice.
And then Diversa puts a bunch of graphs in here that sometimes they're awesome. What is this? Video only average views. Weekly Dumb doing well.
Love that.
Yeah. All right. So there's your quarterly content report.
Rob is going to be editing this and screaming at his laptop.
Oh yeah, Rob, Warehouse Games editor. He's gonna be so mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I asked Rob and Tom they gave it to Sam yesterday, their post-production plan for Floorball, but I'm excited to look at it. Because since we pushed it back to October, we should like really be able to just like.
Oh, we should have every game finished a month before game 1 comes out.
And all the shorts for it and like.
Well, everything should be handed at the latest to the social team a month before game 1, and then they can.
Well, I think I have them hand it to the social team before they edit it. So that's what they did with Ball and Play. So they'll hand the blank games just synced up to the editing team before they edit any game. So they should have the same like kind of amount of time, like maybe a couple days shorter.
That was the interlude.
That was the interlude.
Long interlude.
It was a long interlude. Fun game though. Congrats to all the people that are doing well.
We have been going for probably 37-ish minutes, so let's rip through some of these questions from last week. Will the Gagas ever return?
We just played.
I know.
Joe's and I just did a 2-hour live stream session on JM Gaming. I think Mitch is making some shorts out of it, and my by golly, what a return!
Oh yeah.
Gagas. Oh well. Yeah, we had to play the Penguins, and I'm gonna spoil a little bit there here. And the Penguins blew us out twice. And it looked like we weren't even capable. So we had to go back to the drawing board, change some of our hotspots, change some of our strategies. We had to bench some players. We had to change some players' play style, and then we won a little bit, and we got a new player. Rope, a dope. The rodent.
Oh yeah.
And he is a two-way threat. And we also made the biggest change in the world, which is I now take the face-offs. So instead of winning the face-offs at a 40% clip, we win them at a 100% clip. Because it's rock, paper, scissors. And Joe's just kind of never really grasped it.
Right.
So, Gagas are back.
Gagas are back. Go to JM Gaming to watch that. Is there that was asked by Shane Skinner.
Shane Skinner.
Birds on the Bat, who has asked questions before. They asked, are there any plans for Laughs from the Past return?
No.
Answered. Do you care to explain any more than that?
We don't have time. We got 10 seasons out of it. 10 evergreen seasons, so like if we wanted to promote it, people could still go listen to all of them. They still exist. Actually, I think the RSS feed got taken down. I don't know who to.
I saw that comment.
Who do we go to look into that about? BBD? He kind of led that. I can ask him.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, no. It's radical. It needed to be way more successful in the moment to continue. It wasn't terrible, but like compared to other stuff Jake and I are working on.
Yeah.
And building. It's like at some point you have to do new stuff.
Definitely.
I appreciate all the love it gets because I really wanted it to grow.
Oh, yeah.
Do well.
That's when I had a concussion and could only listen to podcasts. I went and listened to a bunch.
It's a great road trip
to
just listen to all of them.
There was a few comments from Van Roon and Yutsaf asking if you would ever do a grade cricketer collab, which I assume the way I asked that, you will say yes, because it is, will you ever? But if you, like, what world would that exist?
Well, we invited them to play in Ball and Play, but they're in Australia.
So a warehouse appearance could make sense eventually.
Or like if they invite me on their podcast, I guess. But I don't think they do, like, their audience wouldn't care about me at all, so I don't think I'm going to be invited. Yet. I listen to them all the time. And I bought a sweatshirt. They're really funny, and they're good at podcasting and talking. They're like writers, so they like jump into these like soliloquies that are really funny sometimes. I don't know if they pre-write them, but I'm a fan. Yeah, I'd love to do something with them. I'd love to have them out for Ball and Play because they're also like they have played and they are funny, but they're in Australia. We can't like they would have to. I think how it worked out is we were talking to them or someone who represents them or I don't know who Sam was talking to, but it was like if we're in England, because they might have been in England for the Ashes or some other World Test Championship, then we would fly them from England to New York to be part of it. But like we can't fly them from Australia to New York to be part of it, and it didn't work out. But I mean, it would be very hard.
They don't work out. Would you consider the YouTube member feature in place of ads? This is a question by Nate Allen. I believe he said something like, you integrate the ads really well so they don't feel like ads, but I would still prefer to watch without ads.
Oh, like host red ads he's talking about?
He's talking breakdowns. No. That was specific to his question, is breakdowns.
No. The breakdowns
I think you could answer the question more generally if we would consider using YouTube memberships rather than
it would pale.
Ads.
It would pale in comparison to what ads make us, and the company would crumble. So no.
Yeah.
And the breakdown ads are 15 seconds long at the end of the breakdown.
Yeah.
I can sympathize with some people who don't like ads and they on podcasts or they ramble too long or blah blah blah, but I cannot sympathize with anyone who complains about the way I do ads on breakdowns, because I fight tooth and nail with the sales team and with advertisers that I'm not going to annoy my audience. I'm going to go, you get a mention at the start, and then at the end you get a 15 to 30 second plug, and that I'm going to make fun and integrate, but it's after the breakdown's over, and I that costs us a ton of money that I do it that way. And I refuse to budge, and I fight, and I say, nope, you want breakdowns? Well, we want 60 seconds, and we want you to put the product on screen. Absolutely not. The videos are 3 minutes long. I'm not doing a 60-second ad read. We want 30 seconds. Absolutely not. The videos could be 2 minutes long. I'm not doing 30-second read. Like, fight tooth and nail, and it is, I mean, I don't know, maybe cuts what we could earn on them in half.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Or around then.
Yeah.
And I cannot sympathize with anyone who complains about the way I do ads on breakdowns.
Yeah. I think specifically to Nate, he was complimenting the way you did them on breakdowns.
I'm not trying to attack Nate. I'm just giving just feedback into that whole thing at all. Like,
yes. I do think that, I think what you said to start though, where even if we did some kind of membership, those numbers would still just be dwarfed by anything that actual ad sales bring in. That's the main point there. $10 a month, I just don't think can come close.
Yeah. Someone said, does the length of the ad depend on however long the video is? Not for breakdowns.
Not for breakdowns.
But we have slots. So like if we create a video, like for Floorball or Ball and Play, we say there's every game for Floorball has a 1 60-second spot for an exclusive sponsor and 2 30-second spots.
Yeah.
So then that's what is on the menu that we bring the advertisers to say. Yeah. So it's we set the time and how much. Mm-hmm. So okay, a Talkin Yanks is an hour and 20 minutes. I think the max we do is 4 60-second ads. So out of the 80 minutes, we're selling 4 of them spread out. That's kind of the formula that we have there.
Yep.
And each show and what kind of show is it, and is it a long form podcast? Is it like a trivia video? Well, probably just one ad can be in that. But yeah.
To try to round out that last question, do you see any place where it makes sense to do content, like video content, behind a paywall?
No, we did Patreon for a while.
Yeah. That was never video content though, right?
We did extra stuff.
Extra stuff, but I'm talking this is an exclusive Talkin Yanks video.
No, I mean, it's extra work that hurts growth. So extra work that hurts growth doesn't make sense to me. You have to be so big and Patreon only, and it's very, very few that are doing that. Or say Jake and I were just Talkin Yanks and Jomboy JJTV, and that's all we did. Mm-hmm. The way that when we talk to Basement Yard.
Yeah, they do.
Like Joe and Frank, they have a Patreon because they don't have the content calendar that we have and the growth goals that we have.
Yep.
So we had Patreon. It really, really helped us for a long time. And I always felt guilty that we didn't give back enough in the Patreon. When we got our investment from CAA, I felt weird about taking monthly from people when we just raised money at a bigger level. So we thanked the patrons and said goodbye to it.
Yeah. Matthew Bassett asked if there's going to be weekly dumb awards at the end of the year.
I forgot we did that.
2021?
I forgot we did the weekly dumb awards. That definitely was because like Jake and I both were on vacation and couldn't record. So we had to like just fill a week in. I love recap and like best of episodes because it's the best of. It's a lot for Zach to do, so I would have to ask Zach if he's into that. We're filming a fun weekly dumb on Thursday.
We are. You are.
At the warehouse because Zach's playing a really cool show. That's why.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's playing a festival.
When?
I guess Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, I see. So you're recording this week.
So we're recording Weekly Dumb for next week tomorrow.
Right.
We're going to sit dead center on the floorball court, and then we're going to put tripod. You're going to take your tripod and Rourke's tripod and put them as the crossing shots. But then whenever he wants to do a wide, go to the ceiling or the camera 8 or whatever. That's what I was saying to Jack. Like when we do that, we need no audience.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has to be like we're in the empty warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, definitely. The last question here from
Does that be like maybe our third ever Weekly Dumb remote? I know we did the beach, and we did All Star in Arizona or spring training in Arizona.
You did meetings, winter meetings. Remember this?
Oh yes,
Asmo
the suitcases. That was a really janky one.
Yeah.
So this would be the fourth maybe ever Weekly Dumb remote?
Probably.
That's cool.
ACDC fan 7 asked.
Seventh.
The seventh fan. Ever.
Seventh fan of ACDC. Original? Means they like the original lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will Boone convos this year affect the chance of re-upping with him next year? And
yes.
Do you want to re-up? So I think his specific question is, like, if you're being hard on Boone, in the back of your mind, are you thinking, oh, shoot, like, this is going to lessen the chance?
Jake and I talked about it the other day. Like, I was like, Jake, would you want to? Like, and I think we were like, at the price and the cadence, definitely not. Maybe once every 2 weeks, and then, you know, cut the price in half or something if we offer that, but he might get more somewhere else. I thought he would be way more conversational. I thought he was coming to us to have more earnest conversations, and it would feel like conversations. They don't feel like conversations. Mm-hmm. And might be because they're awful this year. That definitely plays a part of it. But I'm interested, if they were good, would we still just kind of get nothing? Like, and I do think he gives us more than he does like the beat. And people on the beat have commented that to us, like, you get more out of them than we do. But it's still like, yeah, I don't know. And maybe like the money situation, because I know we have a sponsored the segment, and then the views do well. So maybe the finance is like, no, we should definitely do it again. But I don't think I'd do every week. Because it's most of the Yankees stinking, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely that. But I just thought he would be, and that's where I really don't know, like, because sometimes we talk, like, just like a couple sentences afterwards. I'm like, oh, shit, like, you truly believe that?
Mm.
Like, right now, he may truly believe that this team can pull it together and make a deep playoff run.
You're saying the conversations after are more conversational, where you can actually see what he's thinking?
It happened once where he talked to us, like, for a little bit after we stopped recording. And it was like, he was like, man, you guys really want us to bring up the minor leaguers. I'm like, well, I just want something. It was just like, they just truly believe. We're crazy. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that his point of view is similar to yours and Jake's, where he feels like he wants to be more conversational, but it's just
that's what I
training?
don't know. Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, are you just being, rinse and repeat and it's right in front of us and blindly optimistic because you have to, because you don't want to sell the front office or the players short in any way at all? Or are you part of the Yankees because you are blindly optimistic like them?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
I do not know.
But yeah, maybe we end stellar. Maybe the numbers make sense and like we do it, we run it back. I'm not opposed to that, but my wish right now, and I talked to Jake the other day, was like, cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that midweek episode becomes Katie Sharp and just regular convo.
Yeah, conversations. Like I think we want to start bringing like office people into building like the world of Talking Yanks slowly. Like we have Joe's on more and more. Or Kenobio's been doing the pregame show. Like we could start building out, not for like full episodes. Jake and I would still be there, but like having like guest segments or within our roster more.
AFTV style.
What's that?
That Arsenal YouTube channel I've showed you.
Yeah, part of my take does it as well. Like they have their like crew instead of just the two of them.
Yeah.
To fill other segments and shit.
Cool.
Is that all?
Yeah.
That's the episode.
What's the Instagram chat saying? Nothing. Bye.
Fayao talking about Boone and BS Colo just joined, so I feel bad leaving. And Talt and Nick Triolo just joined, so I feel bad like leaving right away. But thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast app, and yeah, if you want to ask questions next week, leave them in the comments. Subscribe, review, share, like. Bye.